What was it, a tennis update?
No, I do fantasy hockey with my college roommates, dude. I don't know shit about hockey.
I have never once known you to like know or care about anything like sporting related.
Yeah, I don't.
And the tennis, I'm like, okay, it's like his workout. I get it. So hearing that off of your phone is just so strange to me.
What the fuck is ESPN alert doing on your phone, bro?
You do fantasy.
I do fantasy hockey with my college roommates. We had our draft picks like a couple weeks ago, and dude, I'll tell you what, I get into it. It's fun. I don't know the players or anything like that. I just like look at the numbers and like, you know, if I'm winning or not, and I set my lineup for the week and shit like that.
Do they know anything about hockey?
Oh, dude, yeah, they're
okay.
hockey
I was like,
fans.
that'd be so funny if
That would be
your
hilarious.
whole league was just people who have no fucking clue what's going on.
All right, boys. We have some hefty breakfast burritos today from Bread and Breakfast.
What a great name.
It's a cute name. Oh, I love when the burrito gets this, like, the tortilla gets this, like, consistency where you can kind of see through
Dude,
it.
it's, like, genuinely
it's really
kind
hot,
of
actually.
hot.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
so,
too
like,
hot.
I'm like,
I never have this problem with the fucking breakfast or with the delivery food.
Oh, man. And the thing is, too, I looked up where they were. They're, like, right by the Circus Liquor place in, like, just east of Hollywood, or North Hollywood. And so I was like, that's gonna, like, it's gonna take a little time to get to your place. And it's still, like, piping fucking
quite hot. That's where I wonder if it's, you know what? There's that one place there, the Pablitos Tacos, that we had the pizza from. I wonder if it's that, or it might just be close to that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of like stuff expanding
true,
over there
you're
now
right.
because like the arts district is kind of like popping off. So
It's
there's
popping
like
the fuck off.
a whole bunch of shit like up near Chandler that's like been expanding.
Expanding.
But what you got today, Nick?
I have to look it up. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, I got the sujuk. I'm probably mispronouncing that.
Probably me too.
But it's like halal spiced Armenian beef, I believe.
Yeah.
Which sounded fucking awesome.
Sounds crazy.
And then like hash browns, cheese, and there's something. Tomatoes, that's what it was. I was like, there's one more thing, but I don't remember. Oh, dude, it's like leaking a little bit.
I got the Mamba burrito, which is carne asadas and bacon and eggs and hash browns and cheese. So
Oh yeah, dude.
let's give it a little. Oh, I also want to try this. This doesn't look like salsa.
Yeah, it almost looks like what's it? Not cilantro, but
It looks like tzatziki, like almost, but like, what is that?
that's literally just yogurt and cilantro. That's what that
Oh,
is.
that kind of slaps though.
That's really good.
Damn, that's so
Holy
good.
shit.
All right, first try.
Bing.
Cheers.
Oh. Oh. Oh, dude.
Wow, that's fire.
Wow.
How's the spiced beef?
Really good. I'm like trying to identify what the spice is, but there's like this really nice
That's fire.
like smokiness to it. Mm-hmm. So it's like as you're biting into it, it's almost kind of like it kind of gives you almost like a breakfast ham kind of thing, because you know how like sometimes you throw a little like cayenne on that. Mm-hmm. It's got to be something close to that, but wow. And like the consistency's super nice, like a very like clean bite all the way through.
Soft.
All the way through.
But still a little crunchy. Like
Yeah.
there's some crunchy bits, but the tortilla and the eggs are all soft. Oh my god.
I need to get some of this on here. Let's try this shit.
It slaps with that too. Damn.
Mm.
This is the kind of shit that gets stuck in the bottom of your teeth. Mm-hmm. I like that. Wow. All right, I gotta try the salsa. Mine is pretty.
Wow,
The
dude.
carne asada is really, really well done. Actually,
really
the bacon
good.
is very crispy. The eggs are perfectly fried. Like this is, it's not a different flavor, but it's well done. And my voice cracked.
Yes, it
Well
did.
done.
I was like looking up I was looking at the about page on this place, and they were like, Al and Art wanted to create their own types of like breakfast burritos because they saw that like their community wasn't represented. So I was like, oh, these are just like two Armenian dudes that were like, let's make some fucking breakfast burritos, and they fucking slap. That is my
That's
full
pretty
and
funny
honest
because
review.
like it's not really an Armenian food.
I know.
It's just like a Mexican dude being like, you know what? I don't see enough like Mexican sushi. I'm gonna make like like a sushi spot.
Dude, Mexican Asian fusion would be incredible. Though. Like, imagine like a tiny bit of like al pastor on top of a like sashimi rice. Oh, dude.
Brother. I still really want to go to that one Panda Express just to get their combo number 2 in a burrito in Pasadena.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. One day. It's a little bit of a far hike.
Dude, we should do that, though. Just drive out there, pick it up.
I'm so down.
Drive it all the way back here.
I'm so down. Just do a mobile podcast. Set it up in the car. Coffee.
Definitely safe.
Yeah, very safe. Super safe having all this equipment.
Super safe.
That right in the windshield right there, blocking 100% of your view.
We put it on like a hostess tray, so it's like in front of the wind, like the windshield shooting into us. We're not on a biscuit at all, so we're just like hoping for the best. I can't see shit, but hey, that'll be fine.
I'm like your eyes and yours. So you're good. Okay, you can merge.
No, not yet. You've got 127 feet. All right, now you have 300 feet. Okay, now you're back to 127 feet.
What? You passed it? 400 feet? Turn around, please.
You're rerouting every time I like miss an exit. Dude, this salsa is really
good too.
It's like a nice amount of spice, but it's like not necessarily like a salsa verde. I guess technically a salsa verde is just.
I mean, technically it is,
yeah.
Yeah, green sauce, but wow. Yeah, it's good because it's not like, I don't know. It's not. It doesn't taste like a Mexican burrito. It does, but it also doesn't at the same time. It's a perfect fusion. It's an Armenian Mexican fusion. That's not much else I can say about it. It's well done.
I think that's kind of like the nice thing too, is that like you can just take these like little bits from other cultures, not in like. I feel like you can't really like. I don't know. This might be completely wrong, but I was like, I feel like if you just merge foods together, they kind of like more or less they usually land together.
Yeah.
You know, so like
I would agree with that.
Think about it, like Mexican food is like usually just like a lot of like different types of meat and like ways of cooking that meat. So you just swap one of those out with something else.
Exactly.
Usually works pretty well.
Yeah. And so many cuisines use rice, so it's just like it all kind of goes together anyways.
I wonder how that like proliferated. Like does every place like every like different area in the world like have the ability to like grow different and specific rice? Was it like carried through trade? I've always wondered that because like rice is just so used in everything all across the globe that I'm like, okay, was that like a native thing of like these locations? It's just I don't know, man. Rice is cool.
We could ask an agriculturist or a food historian or something.
Like an agriculture historian.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Can you be that?
Sure, dude. You can be anything. Agriculture. Hey Siri, what is an agriculture historian? Let's see if there's anyone.
Okay, I found this on the web for agriculture historian, and see if there's anyone.
It's not a thing.
Check it out.
Damn.
At least it doesn't seem like a thing.
It's probably just some dude at like San Diego State that just like is like really knowledgeable about like corn.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm an agriculture historian.
Yeah, exactly. Or there's I was playing, what was it? I was playing Dead by Daylight the other day.
What a banger.
And there's like a Halloween event going on right now, of course, because every game has a Halloween event going on. And there's like these special, chests that you can unlock whenever you get items. And one of the items that keeps popping up is called an arcane dowsing rod.
Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, why do I keep getting these? What is an arcane dowsing rod?
Like a water dowsing
And
rod?
so I look, yeah. So I had never heard of that word before, dowsing.
Oh, yeah.
So I looked it up, and under the Wikipedia page for dowsing, there's a subsection called notable dowsers. And so I was thinking maybe there might be some notable notable historians. Let me see. I gotta find the notable.
Dude, as a quick aside, when a burrito can do this,
Yeah.
that's when that's like it's wrapped and packed perfectly. And goddamn.
Damn. How do you know about water dowsing?
You wanna know why?
Yeah.
Pokemon. In the anime, I don't remember what like the context was, but they're like walking with like dowsing rods and they like stand over something and they separate, right? So I was like, oh, that's neat. And that was because of Pokemon. It's educational, everybody. Don't think otherwise.
That is insane.
Yeah.
That's some like Slumdog Millionaire type connection. All right. Let me see. Notable dowsers.
Okay.
There's some bangers in here.
And these are like people, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are people
Dope.
that each have their own Wikipedia page. Jacques Aymar Vernet, Moritz Benedict, Manfred Curry,
Moritz Benedict,
Leister Gattaker, Uri Geller, Frank Glahn, Otto Elder von Grave, Henry Gross, Ernst Hartman, Christopher Hills, T.C. Lethbridge, J. Cecil Maybe, Larry R. Marshall, Michael Moyne, Nils Axel Morner, Joseph Smith, but only in his early life.
See, this is how you know that dowsing is made up.
I know.
Because all of the people who did this sound like they were born exclusively in like the late 1700s. So you're like, okay, cool. Like, obviously it's not a real thing because no one's doing it anymore.
Here we go. Last five. Carl Spiesberger, Ludwig Straniak, Solko Wally Trump, Ralph Whitlock, and Professor Calculus.
No way. His name is Professor Calculus?
Professor Calculus is a cartoon character.
Oh, well, fucking, that doesn't count. Can he be a notable dowser if he's not real?
I just love how Joseph Smith like fell off. You know, he was a notable dowser in his early life, and then he just stopped making discoveries or some shit. He can't find water anymore.
Yeah, and he was just like, you know what? I think I better just hedge my bets.
Yeah,
cut my losses. Go do something.
Hang up
else.
the old rod. Anyways, maybe there's some notable agriculture historians.
Yeah, somewhere.
Somewhere there are. We can start a Wikipedia page for them.
Link us down below in the comments to your favorite notable agriculture historian.
And we will add them to the Wikipedia page. Notable dowsers is just so funny. Yeah, I'm a dowser. What do you do? Yeah, I'm a dowser.
You know, I just like find water and shit.
I just love finding water.
I'm just real good at finding water.
I'm just like addicted to the game, you know?
Like my eyes are actually the dowsing rods. As I get closer, they just separate.
I can't see. We're near water.
help me.
Anytime it rains, I'm down for the count, bro. I can't leave my house.
You're flying across like an ocean.
Fuck! Ow! They're so far apart, dude.
There's so much water here.
I don't get it. That's probably no longer necessary.
No, absolutely it's not. We have like tools.
Scientific instruments,
yeah,
right? Like there's no way. It's definitely a 17th century thing. I would love to see a dowsing rod.
We have those things that they use to like find bodies now. Have you ever seen those? They're like these big lawnmower looking motherfuckers.
What? No.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
It's like a big thing and it just like shoots sound waves through the ground and like creates like a spectrograph or whatever the fuck that's called of like what's underneath you. And you can like use it to like go to like, I think it's like 90 feet, some crazy shit like that. Oh my God. Yeah.
What sound does it make?
I have no idea. I don't think it's like a perceptible sound. But could you imagine it's
what do you think?
Just super loud, just it's just as you're like moving it.
Before they had technology, it was like man-made, just something like nothing? All right, try again. Go a little farther.
They just dig a hole in the ground.
Someone shouts into it.
And they're like, yeah, Robert's the town shouter. And they're like, what do you mean?
Town shouter.
He's the guy that finds water for us. What do you mean? He shouts into a hole. And if he hears a certain sound back, then he's like, found water.
Found groundwater.
You just
create your civilization right here, baby.
Right here.
Damn. Dowsers and shouters. Simpler times. Simpler times. If I could go back in time and be a shouter, you bet your ass I would.
If I could go back in time and make a living as a notable dowser, goddamn right I would.
It would have to be through my whole life, though. I'd be kind of embarrassed if I was just a notable dowser in my teens, you know?
I've also been thinking about it, too, where it's just like, do you really want to go back in time?
That's true.
Like, things kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Like, all just across the board.
Facts. I wonder if dude was a notable dowser in his early life only because he was like a horny teenager. He's like looking for anything wet that he could...
He's trying everything.
Yeah, he's trying everything. He's like, oh, found some groundwater. He's like cutting a hole in the earth and fucking putting his little pee-pee in there.
If that guy would have found fucking cantaloupe...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it would have been over for him.
It would have been over. He would have never left his house.
Would have never tried to be a dowser.
He would have never tried to be a dowser.
Dowsing would never have been on his radar.
He would have just started writing Call Me By Your Name script in 1724.
No.
Damn. Oh. Notable dowsers. Anyways, how's your week, man?
What a segue. That
you
was
been
great.
dowsing?
Dude. I have not been dowsing.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. But I'm going to try to do that this weekend. Sounds like a fun activity.
I think so.
But nah, man. I'm just hanging out, working. It's been fucking just a very like easy couple of weeks of me just like...
Give us a little update on your project.
A little bopping around.
For the pod.
Oh,
Where are you at with that?
yeah, we did like another tech scout for our location. I think we're pretty much locked in for it.
Hell yeah.
Our costumer's doing great stuff.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna have a chat with like our makeup artist tomorrow, locking in like another like fitting day and like test makeup day. Actors and everybody are in. We've kind of rounded out like our base crew. Now it's like, okay, who can fill a role that is like necessary, but like if we don't need it, like can we cut it out? So like we're like, okay, we probably need to get like an AC for our DP so that he can like, you know, do more shit rather than just worrying about everything. So we're working on filling out a couple of those spaces, but other than that, we're chugging along. We've got like our shooting schedule down. Like we know essentially how we're gonna shoot stuff. So now it's just tying up
Just
a little bit.
the little loose ends, dotting the T's, crossing the I's. That's so fucking cool. I mean, dotting the I's, crossing the T's.
Yeah, we were like thinking about it because we were like, we're kind of like up against time.
Because you want to have it shot by...
Exactly, because it's like, you know, the locations in LA are expensive. If we were in like Indiana, this thing would be dirt cheap to produce.
Oh, I bet.
But like, because we're here and everything is expensive, like film wise, it's a little hard. So we're like, okay, well, we just gotta shell it out for this bit, move on. So we're like, okay, what can we cut to like bring down some time? So we just like nixed an entire scene.
Oh, really?
We're just not gonna do that. It's not essential
Because it'll take too much time to shoot and it'll therefore cost more money.
Yeah, it's like another setup. So it's like if we cut this out, it probably would have taken, you know, maybe an hour and a half to make the setup. And then for each shot that we need, we would basically, you know, change that setup, but like the lighting. So like lighting would take maybe an hour and a half to do all the setups.
Jesus.
Do all that stuff. So it's like if that scene is going to like take 2.5 to 3 hours to shoot, but like doesn't ultimately really have like a bearing on the story. Right. Because it's more of like a subtle ramp up for this scene. Gotcha. Is like that would be nice, but like we don't need it. Okay. So I'm like, we'll just get rid of it.
Sometimes you just got to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of just how it always goes. Yeah. Like you'll have plenty of scenes that are just like either shot and just fully cut out in the interest of time. Right. Stuff that's just cut down. Right. And like sometimes you'll have the script and just be like, we're not doing that. Right. Like we just don't have to do that. So you just cut it out.
Some of my favorite SNL sketches are cut for time.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that they post on YouTube afterwards.
Yeah.
Some of my favorites. I get it. It fucking sucks, you know.
But it's like,
that's what it is.
Especially from their perspective too, where it's like, okay, we are a nationally syndicated, very popular show that a lot of people across the world watch. Some of those ones that get cut are probably, you know, like, okay, this one's probably not going to appeal to a wider audience. You're right. So it's like, they're like thinking of it from like a marketing perspective too. But then it's like, you think about it and you're like, SNL is like, sorry, you okay? What's that?
I'm better. I swallowed it the wrong way.
You find some water?
Yeah. I doused.
I doused. Oh my God.
Sorry, go ahead. Yes, no, that totally makes sense. I mean, you're literally NBC, so there's millions of people watching you. You're not going to necessarily air the more niche shit.
Which is also funny because then you think about it of like, okay, they shoot that in front of a live audience. Right. So like they have shot this sketch. Right. Or like, I guess maybe it could be one of like the pre-produced ones. Right. But I was like, could you imagine if it was just like a live sketch and they're like, cut it. Yeah. Just don't air it.
Stop.
And they're like, but we're live.
We're literally right now doing this.
They're like, we can't cut it. What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're doing. We're on TV right now. 10-second delay. That's all. I played this. Have you ever played the game Not for Broadcast?
No.
Or heard of it? Mm-mm. Super cool. It's very interesting. It's more live TV adjacent than, you know, really anything else. But it's you literally work in like a broadcast booth and you have to control basically all the things that they would have to do for a live broadcast. So there's like a 10-second delay and you've got like the live feed here and like what's airing here, and like, you know, you have to cut out like mistakes, cut to different cameras, cut out their swears and shit like that. And the storyline is actually really interesting. It like gets a little like dark and weird, but it's really cool because you're in this fucking booth and you're like doing the news.
So it's like a Five Nights at Freddy's thing almost.
Kind of, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's That's very cool. It's a very cool game.
I love when people riff on concepts like that because I think Five Nights at Freddy's to me has like become this whole like monster that I'm like, whatever. Yeah. But like the concept of the game is so interesting that I'm like, this is a format that can just be used for so many just like indie devs to just do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah. Love that. Dude, Have you ever seen like a newer, more like modern like control room?
No, I don't think so.
Didn't your mom used to work for the news? Mm-mm. Why did I think that?
I don't know. Maybe someone else's mom does. Not my mom. She's always been in education.
Weird. I don't know why I ever thought that at some point. I thought that there was like a brief period of time. Anyways. Sorry, Mrs. O. But like the like control rooms are so interesting because everything happens in there basically. Like even on like the floor, most of like the cameras and stuff are like automated. So like really? Everything's kind of like set, and you'll do like a pre-controlled show basically, and you'll just cut.
Sure.
Give them the cues and stuff. But it's like it's news, especially like higher budget.
Yeah.
Like productions in like major cities are just so interesting because it's just so much happening.
Yeah.
But there's like 12 people.
Why?
Like actually doing like the actual physical stuff. Not a lot of people. It's super interesting.
Wow. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't even, it makes sense. I never even thought that shit could be automated. I mean, it makes sense. Why wouldn't you if you have the fucking budget for it? But that's crazy. That's so interesting.
And like some of them still are like, they still have cam ops sitting on like, whole dolly systems and pulling like trucking around and stuff. Some of them will actually have like boom operators and stuff like that. And some of them are straight up just like 4 cameras. Nobody ever touches them. And they just go. It's so interesting.
Damn, that's wild. So someone like, I guess that's kind of what I could equate that to is like light shows for live music. Like some of them are completely pre-programmed by someone, and then at the show it's time coded and it just plays.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there's literally like a guy there like cueing the fucking lights and shit like that. That's pretty interesting.
You're like your VJ's just doing the fucking best.
Yeah.
That's just it's so cool to me, like that. Just light rigs in general are just so interesting to me. And it's so cool, like especially now where it's like, stage musicians and stuff like that have always had things, pyrotechnics, videos and stuff like that happening. But like electronic music has truly like made the stage itself so much like part of the act. Oh yeah. And that's so fucking neat to me.
Really cool.
It's so cool, dude.
It is so sick. I love seeing just like the new shit every year that these like boundary pushing bigger art, not necessarily genre boundary pushing, but like production wise. So like Excision always has fucking insane stages. Eric Prides, however you say it, always has insane stages. Like doing shit with drones instead of video walls, and like having like actual holograms like in front over the crowd. It's fucking crazy.
Oh dude, those like drone like 3D drawing things.
So nuts.
So cool.
Fucking crazy.
I want to like, how do you program that?
I have no idea.
Like, is there like a software that you're like, okay, you like make the thing and then it's like you program like each dots to like
probably
the drone?
Probably.
That's wild.
It's crazy. Yeah, I just there was a new Mr. Beast video. I watch all new Mr. Beast videos. I don't know why. I'm so fascinated by it.
I love that you sound like you don't enjoy it, but it's like, like you enjoy it.
I enjoy it. I know. It just seems so silly saying like Mr. Beast's new video, and I'm a fully 27-year-old man. But like he did this concept where it seems so silly to explain a Mr. Beast video.
You can do this.
He stayed in a $1 hotel and then stayed in like a $500 hotel, whatever, all the way up to like
so he did the BuzzFeed thing.
Yeah, the BuzzFeed thing.
Got it.
And stopped it, and like the top was like $1 million, and it was like this entire castle, like estate that was like rented out for the night and whatever. Fuck. And then they had but they finished it off with like a drone show or something like that, and it's just like, it's fucking cool. It's so cool.
It's such an interesting concept that someone was like, I bet I can like make 3-dimensional designs in the sky with drones.
Yeah,
crazy, insane concept.
I don't get it, man.
Dude, how does Mr. Beast get money to do this stuff?
Well, what's really interesting is that he just did like I didn't really know anything about him, like, and he seemed a little bit corny to me always, but then he just did like a podcast circuit where he went on everyone's fucking podcast. He was on the TMG podcast. He was on
trying to get those clicks, baby.
Yeah, he was on everyone's podcast, and it was kind of cool because it like, I expected him to just be fully like, kind of corporate-y, and like, because he appeals to a very broad audience and like a lot of kids obviously and stuff. So I expected him to kind of have that demeanor, like clickbaity, like very even keeled. But no, he was like, it very, very much humanized him. Like there was no, he's like dropping F-bombs and shit like that, which I've never heard him do because he's always like, hey guys, like it's Mr. Beast here.
All of his videos are tagged as like, yes, it's made for children.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it was really interesting. But all of his living expenses are like, everything is tied up in the business apparently. Like he doesn't really make a profit. Every profit that the one video makes, it goes into the next video. He doesn't have a house. He lives in the production studio that they own. He has one room. It's basically like a college dorm, right? He's like, everything that I own fits in this room. He's like, I have like,
that's
a
wild.
TV, a bed, whatever. It's literally like the size of a college dorm room. And that's it. And everything else, I put everything into the videos. Like literally that's it.
I respect that.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of tight. It's kind of tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's not like these dudes who are like, this is my house tour. Different from my house tour 6 months ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of awesome, actually. I love that.
He's like, I don't really like material possessions. He's like, I love making videos. I love, he spends $2 to $3 million per video.
That's
YouTube.
So much,
YouTube
dude.
videos.
That's insane. And like, they don't see, like, it seems like that's almost exclusively like travel and then like the thing that he does. Because like the videos don't seem expensive like to produce most of the time. Like it's just like the spectacle is what costs all the money.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Because then that's the other thing. He's like, if someone has, they've had like media companies offer to like buy them out or like give them like better equipment or shit like that. Cause their shit it's a handheld. It's fucking people with GoPros and whatever.
It's YouTube videos.
Yeah, but he's like, no, because he thinks that kind of makes it more immersive, which I kind of agree with. He doesn't want it to look like a fucking TV show. He wants it to look like a bunch of kids running around having fun and making a YouTube video, which makes sense. He had an offer for $1 billion to buy his company, and he said no. $1 billion to buy Mr. Beast.
Who the fuck was offering him $1 billion for that?
But crazy. And he said,
holy shit.
He said,
good for him. Honestly, this whole thing makes me respect him.
Same. I was like,
so much more.
Right?
Wow.
I had no idea cool. I was like, just like cringy YouTube guy, but no, he's just like,
he's truly like, he's like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
Like, this is my thing.
I don't know a single person that would turn down $1 billion to take all the work off their plate, to take everything. That's it. $1 billion. But no, he's fucking there all the time. It was pretty cool. Honestly, it was very interesting to watch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. I could not do that. I couldn't live in my production studio. That's no
way.
Oof, that's too much like reminder of work. But I mean, I guess to him, like, the work is probably his life.
Yeah, that's his life. Yeah.
Which, like, if that's your thing, that's your thing, man.
Yeah.
No issues there.
It's right. I mean,
I can't fault you for doing what you want to do.
He loves it so much, and he hangs out with his like 4 best friends apparently every day, like whatever the guy's names in Mr. Beast are, and like
it's like the middle school dream.
Yes,
like
literally,
we're all gonna have houses that are connected to each other in a neighborhood, and that's just what he has.
That's what he has. Funny. He has his 4 friends that they go and like do silly little like games. Basically, they make up games for a lot of money, and they fly to different places, and they like live in a big cube that they bought.
A cube.
Like,
I'm looking for a cube. Like, how do you do that to a realtor? Like, do you say that? You're just like, I want a cube.
I think like, you just say, I want like I think what he did was he bought 2 warehouses and like put them together or something, and like actually constructed it so that it would be one big warehouse. And he makes all of his sets in that warehouse. It's fucking massive. It's really wild. Cool.
He just owns a soundstage.
Yeah, if you have time, literally, I'll send you a couple of videos because they're very interesting.
I should actually watch them at some point.
Yeah,
yeah. I was like, every time I see it, I'm just like, oh, this fucking guy again.
Not even the Mr. Beast videos. Just like these behind the scenes kind of like shit that I saw this past couple of weeks.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll send you some of those.
That's the stuff that I'm like more interested anyways. I'm always just want to know how people do stuff.
Yeah, it was very interesting. So
damn.
Shouts out Mr. Beast. Hey, Mr. Beast, if you're watching, your burgers are good and good for you.
They were pretty good.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
It was a while ago. And I guess since then, well, they've opened like a brick and mortar. This is just me talking about Mr. Beast.
It's
just very interesting.
You gushing about your like this like guy that you're not super into.
Right. He's not even like an idol. I just really think it's really cool, like. Yeah, so apparently back then it was like fully Ghost Kitchens making them, and like they were just given like, this is how you make it, but the ingredients were left up to the Ghost Kitchen.
Because this was still like middle of the pandemic and everything too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now what they do is they actually have, any Ghost Kitchen can sign up to serve Mr. Beast Burger, and if they do, they actually send them all the ingredients. So like, it's not just like, okay, hey, we're making a burger. This is what you put on the burger. It's like, we're making this specific burger.
You're setting a fucking like Hello Fresh box to like an actual kitchen.
That's literally what it is. With all the seasonings and shit, and you just put it on the grill and serve it up.
Dude, that's the easiest day for a chef.
Right?
Holy hell.
Right?
Especially like if it's already like mise en place. Like it's already like cut, set up for you. You're just...
You just pop, put it in the box that they give. They even give you the fucking delivery boxes and you send it out. I love that. That's incredible. Probably a huge revenue boost for the restaurants too, which I think is great.
Yeah, dude.
That was the whole point of the Mr. Beast Burger, was to like make these restaurants be able to stay open during the pandemic.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought the whole thing was he was just like, let's just try to do this thing.
I think it came at an opportune time. He always wanted to do that, but I think he was like, this will give restaurants the opportunity to stay open when you can't do in-person shit.
Got it. Okay. Cool. I didn't know that it was going to like ghost kitchens of other like restaurants and stuff. I thought it was specifically like, we have a ghost kitchen that is making our thing. So that's really neat, actually. I wonder like how like logistic. I mean, you're still gonna like just order it and they're just gonna ship it to you. So never mind. I guess the logistics
any restaurant
are pretty.
Can make it.
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, his philanthropy shit is pretty interesting to me.
I
never really.
That.
Yeah, I never had any idea about this guy besides just like fucking wild ass YouTube videos. So it was pretty interesting. I wonder. I wonder if it was like, if they knew that no one really had an opinion of him, or if they thought that like maybe he was getting too big for his britches, and like everyone was kind of like, why did I say that? Why did I say
too big for his britches?
Well, that's such a silly phrase.
What is that?
I never say. Yeah. I don't know, because I don't really know. Maybe it's not like there was a bad public image of him, but he literally did every single, like he did, Impulsive fucking podcast. He did Markiplier's podcast, TMG podcast. Every big YouTuber that also has a podcast, he did that podcast and just basically talked kind of about the same shit behind the scenes. But like, I don't know why now. Like, Anyways, it was pretty interesting.
Do you think like if you
with me,
Nicholas Ortega, were asked to be on like multiple podcasts, would you just be like, hey, can we record on this day? Like you would just go bang out like all three of them in one go? Because that's just like a lot.
That seems like a lot, man. Especially like high profile podcasts where you really have to be on your shit. I don't know if I could do that. Like you have to have one or two a day.
Yeah, you have to have like the YouTube like exaggerated like, energy and shit. Yeah. Dude, speaking of exaggerated energy, I woke up this morning and in my days I opened Twitter because of course got to start my day off by making myself upset.
Yeah.
And so like I'm scrolling through it and there's like this video of this dude being recorded in a movie theater, like. And he's like a YouTuber and stuff like that. And the dude's like at the
He's being recorded by someone else?
Yeah. Okay. Because he was like apparently like being for some reason this prompted YouTuber. This person to like film him. And it's like it's like at Black Adam, the after credit sequence got leaked like a couple weeks ago, but he's like at the movie theater and someone's like recording him. And the dude is like, and then he like stands, but he's like screaming and shit. And he's like the only person in the theater, and everybody's just like, "Bro, I'd throw like just a full soda on this guy."
No,
and he's like, he's straight up like filming himself with his phone, watching the movie as like he's backlit and shit. And it's like, bro, you're in a movie theater. What are you doing? Like, I get that we're after the credits and stuff, but this is like still a scene of the movie. Stop
and
it.
So that was like the whole point was like, oh my god, you won't believe what I saw at the Black.
And it was like my reaction to that moment in Black Adam.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
he's
fuck
like,
you.
He's like getting himself ready for it.
Yeah. And then he's like yelling and shit, and I'm just like, bro, I hate when people clap in a movie theater.
I hate that shit.
I don't want you to like scream and shit.
I hate that shit.
And it's like funny because I'm like, I get it. You're like super excited, but the filmmakers are not walking up here.
Yeah.
No one can hear your applause. It's all contained to this room.
I know. It's
so interesting to me.
It's really cringy. A friend of mine was, God, what did he do? I just saw his name in the credits. It's probably not going to be there anymore because it's off his story. Fuck. Some kind of music thing. If I can find it, I'll let you know.
Like
for Black Adam.
Oh, tight. Like almost a what's it called? Like was he like an arranger? Is he like a composer? What's his thing?
Yeah, he was like he makes music, so I would assume that he was like, but he had like a cool title next to it. It wasn't just one song. It was like, like music composer, but I don't know. Anyways,
That's cool.
I thought that was kind of cool, but now I can't even remember. So sorry, Raj, my bad.
Oh, Raj, it'll
Sorry,
be fine.
bro.
We'll see it in the credits. Don't worry.
We'll see it in the credits.
Dude, we met up. Me, my writing and producing partner, and like our DP met up at like a bar, and we're just like talking about the story and stuff like that. This was like a couple months ago when we were like first getting the balls rolling and everything, and like we're sitting there talking about shit. Rolling. Yeah, exactly. Like we've got like he's got like a full I love this guy so much. Like our DP shows up with like this leather bound binder. He's got like color charts and shit in it, and like examples of things, and he's got the script, and we're sitting there, we're talking, we're having a couple of drinks and stuff, and just just hashing things out. And like apparently when we met up over the weekend, he was like he opened his binder, he was like, oh yeah, by the way, here's this, and like handed this to both of us, and it was like a napkin, and it was like this dude's name, his handle, his website, his phone number, and his email. And he was like, hey, like I heard you guys like talking back there, but like I'm a composer, so like if you ever need anything, let me know. And we were like,
on a napkin?
Yeah. And we were so like, whoa, funny. What? And we're like, that was weird. But I was like, that's a very LA thing. And I just never expected it to happen. Yeah. And that was really funny. But we were like, okay, well, like, let's see what.
Good for that guy, honestly.
Yeah, we were like, let's see what he's got. We went to his website. Dude has like hundreds of tracks, like examples and stuff. And we're like, oh my God.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay. And I kept going through it. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, he's trying to get it going. I get that.
Oh, okay.
But great. I was like, brother, but take some of these down.
Yeah,
not like them
curate it, man.
Yeah, not them like being bad, but I'm like, you're throwing too much.
It's way
people.
too. No, it's too much.
Just give them a little bit.
No one has the time for that.
Exactly.
They're gonna see. Most people are gonna see that and be, if an opportunity were to arise, if you hand this to the right person, they see 100 tracks on a fucking page.
It was so interesting too, because like you'd scroll through the page and it was like a section with like 12 tracks of like a certain vibe, like action, horror, and stuff like that, and you'd keep scrolling, and it was like back and forth. Much, though. Yeah, and I was like, this is like a dope layout, and a great format, but I was like, just pare it down a little bit more. Yeah, like just give me a little bit less.
That's pretty interesting.
But I was like, this is a cool format. Like I've never looked at like a composer's website, so I was like, this is wild.
Damn, that's pretty cool. It's really interesting too, because like I'm sure someone with a catalog that big. He's trying to make music for sync. Like that's what some people do, is literally like they will compose just boatloads of music. And there's even like websites that have like advertisers that are like, I'm looking for this kind of music to fit this vibe. And people will just make like, they're like sync composers, and they try to make music that will fit in commercial vibes. And they literally just fucking...
That's interesting.
I don't want to say shit it out, because obviously like, they're putting a lot of work into this, but they're not making music for like, oh, I want my fans to hear this. They're like, I want it to sound exactly like a fucking Altima commercial or whatever,
Interesting.
And then they just put it on, they just submit it or whatever. And so they end up with catalogs, which I'm sure is probably what this guy's doing, of like hundreds and hundreds of songs.
Wow. Yeah. That's wild. I never knew that was a thing.
Yeah, totally.
Wild. It's almost like stock footage.
It's 100% like that. Huh. Yeah.
And so you like sell that to a website, and then people like buy it on downloads.
That's
or something
probably
like that?
What, if you are smart about it, are doing. Because some people don't do that. Some people like just make this catalog of shit and they just like submit it. They're like, okay, please pick it for the sync. And it's so rare. It's like, so what then those people do is, if it doesn't get picked up for sync, they'll put it on like like a royalty-free website type thing, and then you can either buy a license or buy like exclusivity rights for it or whatever, which is also a huge way that a lot of composers and producers can make money if you have a catalog that big. The guy from, was it Mango Street, right? Mango, you know who I'm talking about? The photographers?
Yeah, Mango Street.
What's the guy's name? Daniel or something? Yeah. So he does that. He makes like, I watched a video of his where he's like breaking down his like revenue, his like monthly revenue or whatever. Yeah. And like
I love how technical they are about stuff, because it's always like they still make the videos that are like 5 ways to like improve for beginner photographers, and I'm like, okay, cool. Right. Like everybody has 12 of these videos, but then they do shit like that, and I'm just like, this is why I love that.
Really interesting. Yeah.
Such a great channel.
Him and Harris Heller, both, they like have like, I think 40% of their monthly revenue come from these kinds of websites where like people will just license their music, because they just have, they just made like a bunch of DMCA free shit, put on this website, people can license it. Crazy.
I've never even known about that.
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything like that?
I've thought about it, but dude, it's just like such a grind because
Right.
like you have to make so many tracks, and like I'm already making a bunch of tracks like for commissions, so I don't have the brain power after
Right.
that to then just be like, okay, I'm gonna make 20 tracks this month and put them on this website.
Wow.
You know,
Holy shit,
it's a lot.
dude.
It's a lot.
What is like your normal output? Like if you're not necessarily like if well, I guess in both ways, like both for like either Prism or like commissions and stuff like that. How many like fully built tracks that you would be like, this is done in this current format?
I see.
How much have you like made in a month? Is that like on average?
Like how many tracks?
Yeah.
It's anywhere from like 10 to 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's still like in my eyes, that's a lot.
It's a lot. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, it's one every 2 or 3 days. Yeah. It's a lot.
Wow,
it is,
dude.
It's like that. I think it's at 20 is, I've had 20 is rare. It's really 10 to 15. I've had months where I've made 20. Like this month, I have 20 on my plate from one person. I'm making a 20 track album for one person. I have 30
Wow.
days to do it.
Holy shit.
So like that's the only thing I'm doing this month, pretty much. But like that I think is like my max capacity. I can't like I don't have time to do other shit, and
Yeah.
even if I do, it's like not that these tracks take me so long, but one that's 20 distinct ideas.
Yeah,
right?
I was just about to say, I was like, it logically speaking, for you to come up with a whole different idea
Yeah.
for another track
Yeah.
in that amount of time is just so much.
It's a lot. And so like I try not to take on that many at a time. We'll see. I haven't done 20 for a while. But yeah, I physically like I could not expand past that. Like if I'm trying to like make more money per month, I wouldn't be like I'm just gonna take on more commissions. I would either have to like hire employees or like find a different stream of revenue like on top of this, you know? So I think 20 is too like the max cap, but yeah, 15 to 10 is probably like where I'm comfortably operating and not like killing myself, but still like wouldn't really be able to take on too much more.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's so much.
It's a lot.
I'm both impressed and like worried for you.
Yeah. Sometimes it's I get a little in my head sometimes, but yeah, it's, I'm getting better at managing it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to find ways to pare that back and like maybe take on something else or just have like maybe another passive stream or something like that. So I don't have to like kill myself as much over these tracks. Cause it's god damn, dude, it really gets you. It's like, it really takes away, unfortunately, from like me loving music and wanting to do it for Prism. Cause we still do that 2 hours a day and we're trying to finish an album right now. And it's like when I have 10 other tracks that I'm working on and they all kind of meld together, I'm like, does anything sound good anymore? Am I just shitting this out? Whatever. So it's, you know, I think I've found a balance, but it's like, sometimes I fall back into like, what the fuck is this? You know?
Right.
Or like make an idea with Emma and then I'm like, I don't like this. She's like, what do you mean? It sounds great. And I'm like, no. And then I just lose. It might sound great, but I lose all of my, you know, any drive to do it and I have to come back to it like in a month. So
Yeah, dude. No, I totally understand.
I'm sure you get it. Yeah.
I mean,
have you taken on a bunch of client projects yourself? Yeah.
And like when you like, especially in like photography and stuff too, like Megan, I've had this conversation with Megan a lot recently just because of like with the film, I'm like just filled with anxiety all the time.
Yeah.
So like we've just been like talking about things, but I'm like, one of the things that I always find myself doing is that like, I'll take a pretty good photo that I'm like happy with that I took that day. And then I'll go home and I'll edit it and I'll be like, this is garbage. I was like, this all looks terrible. I was like, who would want this? And then like, I'll finish it and be like, all right, this is like fine. Let's see what the client thinks and send it to him. They're like, dude, this is great. Like no notes. And I'm like, okay, but like, was it really good?
You're your own worst enemy when it comes to that, man.
Yeah,
really.
dude. I think that's always like the thing with like any artistic endeavor is that like it's you're constantly just like sitting in your own head because you're really only answering to like yourself in those moments.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, if you're doing client work and you turn it over to a client, you know, they're going to give you notes and everything like that. But like the whole time, like you can just psych yourself out of a whole project in like 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
It
it
so
all just
wild.
comes crashing down.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck. I'm glad you get it, man. Cause it's stressful.
Dude, it is. And I mean, I don't think it ever like goes away. Like I guarantee you even like, well, maybe not Martin Scorsese, but I was just
maybe not.
I'm sure like, plenty of prolific directors have had days where they're just like, everything about this movie is shit.
Yeah.
Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And then like they finish it and it's like critically acclaimed, wins awards and stuff. And they're like, all right, I guess I wasn't
fine.
shit.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Like, as people who like operate with very high anxiety levels, I think it's even worse, because even like waiting for client feedback, like I might feel fine about a project and then I'll submit it. And then like, I'm just waiting for that email to come through it. Like anytime I get a Gmail alert, I'm like, fuck. Is it like full of notes? Do they like it? Do they whatever? And you're like, are they going to hate it? And I'm just like killing myself until I get that email. And then it's just like, oh, just change like 2 things. Or maybe it's changed a shitload of things. But still that waiting is so much worse than getting the email.
Well, because you sit there and you build it up where you're just like, they're going to have so many notes. They're going to have so many issues with it. And then half the time they're always just like, hey, yeah, this is really great. Like what we were looking for. Maybe like, what about like this, and this? Like how would that be? And then you're like, oh yeah, let me do that in like 5 minutes. Yes. And then you're like, no, cool. It's all great.
Or the other way around. Sometimes I'll feel so stoked about his client project. I'm like, yo, this is dope. This looks so sick, or this sounds so sick, whether it's an album cover or like an actual song. I'm like, this is fucking, I'm like, they're not gonna have any notes. And then they like have so many, they're like, this is not what I was thinking at all. And they have so many notes and it's like completely destroyed. Like, cause it's my fault for getting attached to a client project. But then I'm like, you end up like fucking taking away so many things and it ends up being like really shitty in my opinion. Yeah. And it looks like someone who doesn't have very much experience could have done the same thing. And I'm like, why did you want this? And that just caused me so much anxiety and so much like, oh fuck,
right. And then you're like, oh, like this is what like is representative of like my work, but it's not.
Right.
Yeah. I also have like the thing too, like something I've thought about with it is like, you think about in your head the perfect outcome for what it is that you're working on. Mm-hmm. And you're like, this is the standard that I want to hold myself to get to. And if you fall short of that, it's devastating.
100%.
Because you're like, oh, it could have been this, but this is what I was able to produce. And it's like, that's not like a fault of your own.
Right.
Like no one is ever going to know what the fuck that thing was. Not. Yeah. And if they're happy with this here, like, okay, you're not happy with it. Then, you figure out how to do it for the next time and you move on. And like, it's very hard to disconnect yourself from that feeling, especially when like you put so much of yourself into the thing that you're working on. Because if somebody doesn't like it or it doesn't go perfectly.
Well, because that's your self-worth, right?
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
That's what you put so much of your time. Like, this is the skill that you've built up for years. This is like, not your whole personality, but like this is how you identify a lot of the time, right? And if someone like shits on it or you put so much weight on it that no one else is going to put that amount of weight on it, and it's I get it. I you
just gotta make shit. That's it. You just gotta make it, and if it's not the best, hey man, done's better than perfect.
Done is better than perfect.
That's like the best. That's the best advice I've ever been given. Don't know where I got it from.
Amen. Done is better than perfect.
But yeah, like you don't like. There's no point in killing yourself to create something that is like wholly unrealistic and unfeasible for you at your skill level or your budgetary means or like
the time you have.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like you have to work within the constraints that you're given.
Yeah.
And if you can't get it done in that, then like maybe loosen up one of those constraints. Yeah. Like just drop some stuff.
Yeah.
Like done is better than perfect.
Damn. Done is better than perfect.
I'm not claiming credit for that.
No, I know.
I don't know where it came from, but it's a great one.
That's a great
one. Love
it.
It really has helped me recently. So yeah, man.
My mom always used to say, I used to have just the worst. I would procrastinate a lot on writing. Like I hated writing essays. That was my least favorite part of school. I could do everything else. I enjoyed it to some degree. Essays and writing, fucking hated it.
Yeah.
The worst.
Oh yeah.
I put off every like writing credit that I had to take until senior year of college, like because I truly didn't want to do it. But anyways, she would always say, "Don't get it right, get it written," and same principle. So
Mama just coming in clutch.
Mama coming in clutch.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like just so because like you meet plenty of artists in a creative industry, whichever one somebody may find themselves in, and like I mean I guess in any industry this is true, but like I find it very prevalent in the creative industry.
Sure.
It's like people very much view themselves at a much higher level than where they like are perceived at.
They think higher of themselves than other people, or wait.
Yes. Yeah. So like a lot of times they're like, I am the best, but it's like you don't really have like a point for that.
Yeah.
But it's like that confidence is like what leads them to get more things done.
Absolutely.
And that's like the thing of like finding that middle ground of being like, I'm confident enough that I can create this thing and finish it, versus I'm confident that what I am creating is the next best thing. It's weird.
There is a really fine line because you need that confidence in some way, but there's a really fine line between like, you know, that being enough confidence for you to excel and like put yourself in situations where you could succeed and do your work and stuff, versus like putting yourself in those same situations and being perceived as way too fucking much, way too cocky.
Absolutely.
Get out of here, you're arrogant type of thing.
And at the end of the day, I would much rather work with somebody that is going to give me average or above average quality work that is like great to be around and a good person, versus getting like a fucking Christopher Nolan that is an asshole. You know, like I would much rather like work with people that are fun to work with and create something good together
100%.
than, you know, getting berated by a whole bunch of people or like being like undermined by someone who's supposed to be working with you. Then, you know, I don't know. I feel like not a lot of people. Well, I feel like a lot of people feel that way, but are more like, I want what's going to get me like the prestige at the end of it. So it's really difficult. Creative fields are always
there's no rules.
There's no rules, and it's always crushing in some way. But
don't let that stop you, though.
The highs greatly outweigh the lows. So it is what it is. Don't let if you're working on some music, if you're making a film, if you're a photographer, if you're fucking creating like some cool macrame art and stuff like that, brother, do it. Just finish it. It doesn't need to be perfect. The imperfections are what make it great.
Yes.
Just fuck with it. God,
Brian's full of them
We're
today.
Crushing this. Holy shit.
The imperfections are what make it great. Done is better than perfect.
There's actually like I can't remember what it was. There was I think it's like this specific like area of Mexico or some like a region of Mexico or like the specific town that is like known for this like specific type of art. I could be getting the location wrong, but I think it was Mexico. And they basically like create like tapestries and weavings and stuff like that, but they purposefully add an imperfection into it. So like say like the patterns like this like kind of oscillating like white and black, right? They'll put in like a small like red thread into it, or they'll like move something out and then keep it going because they're like the imperfection is what makes it like
unique.
It makes it like a imperfectly perfect piece, basically. And I was like, that's a very interesting concept.
That is interesting.
Because that is still kind of like almost like a moniker in a way. That's like, that's you putting your flourish on it, is this imperfection. And that's kind of
cool.
That's like an interesting way of thinking like of any like creative artistic endeavor of just like, I'm going to like, you know, you're not going to purposefully fuck something up, but you're always going to do something in a certain way that, you know, that's your style, that's your brand, that's how you do certain things, that's how you think about something. And that's like almost kind of what these people have done for hundreds of years, but in this specific way. And I thought that was neat.
I like that.
I thought it was really neat.
Damn, that's crazy. That's so cool.
Right?
That's fucking wild. I need to like start looking into things that are going to inspire me like that more, you know?
Dude, that's actually like why I've kind of shifted away from like YouTube and streaming.
Totally.
Because like on it, to me, everything has felt a lot more like diluted recently because I'm just like, everybody's just like, I am appeasing an algorithm.
Yes.
So that I can get in front of these people. So they're not like making something to make something. They're making something expressly to get views on it.
Yeah.
Which like, hey, I get it. Like that's a lot of those people. That is their job, right? You make money off of your ad revenue on YouTube. Sure, that's fine. But to me, it's all like everything is kind of like hit this weird little like sludgy area where like everybody's kind of just copying and mimicking each other on the internet. Where I'm like, I kind of miss like OG YouTube,
dude, same.
Which like makes me feel so fucking old saying that.
But I get it. I mean, it's like, you know,
it was a new frontier. People were trying new things and doing different things, like vastly different. Like formats were different and stuff like that. And like recently, I've just been like, I'm just watching like the same 6 types of videos over and over again, and like all like everybody on like streams and stuff like that are just like, okay, we're just
reacting.
like reacting and like hawking wares basically, you know. And I'm like, this just isn't like serving me right now. Like it was for a good period of time, but like recently I'm like,
yeah, not really.
I find something else.
I'm feeling like that too.
And for me, it's actually most recently been movie scores.
Really?
Because I used to like, for me, music has always been a very difficult thing for me to just like kind of comprehend. Like the vibe of it. I've never been able to really pick up on it.
Right.
And we've been doing a whole bunch of stuff at work, basically retooling music in the cuts of the movies that we're working on. And so I've just been listening to a shit ton of movie scores because they've just been like, hey, can we get this one? So we send an email to Universal Music, and then they talk to the composer and they send us their like raw wave files of the movie, and then I like sit there and listen to them, and I'm just like, this is just so interesting, and I've never like really sat and like listened to it, and it's been lovely, let me tell you.
Damn, I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna find something like that does it for me, and that's cool.
And something different, you know, like that's what I've found with it, is that it has to be something that you're like just super not used to, or something that you're like super that you don't really think about, in a way, and that's been helpful for me.
Okay,
so,
fuck.
Think about something, you know.
I will. That's very. You're very. This is very helpful. It's like a little therapy hour.
I know. I was just thinking. I was like, this whole episode has just been like us venting and like having a therapy session.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
But it's like, you know, that's kind of like that's the human condition, baby.
Facts.
And that's I've been very in my head for the last like 2 months that I'm just like, all right, I gotta like get something out of this at some point. But
good. I'm glad you found that. I'm gonna do some searching this week and see if I can find something.
Some soul searching.
I'm gonna do some soul searching. I'm gonna do some search engine searching.
Play some tennis. Don't kill somebody. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm getting out of my house this weekend, which will be nice.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
going to my roommate's wedding, or my college roommate's wedding.
Nice.
Which will be great in Milwaukee.
Oh, I love Milwaukee.
What
a
great
great little
it's
city.
Nice. Yeah. Especially like in a fall like this is gonna be perfect. You know.
It's gonna be like perfect like sweater weather.
Yeah, I know. I'm really excited for that. So I'm gonna go and I get to be a groomsman, which will be exciting. I know. I'm not just going to the wedding. I'm in that bitch.
Damn.
Yeah.
Gonna get like a corsage and shit.
Yeah, all of that. I've got my tux fitted and everything. So it'll be cool. My parents are coming. Get to see my parents.
Nice.
It'll be nice. I'm really stoked. Yeah. So that'll be good. Hopefully, you know.
Yeah.
I'll start to feel a little better this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, sitting in my fucking house for 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. It's a lot of like I've never really like felt the like I gotta get out of LA thing, like because I genuinely do like
it's great here.
But it's like I have to like cycle what it is that I'm doing, because I'm like, otherwise you just like get in the rut and you're just like, I'm bored now. Yeah. And I feel that.
Yeah. So fuck yeah. Damn,
Go to Wisconsin.
I like this, man. This is nice. What a nice little sesh.
We're just going to slowly turn this podcast into talking about food and like the creative mindset.
Yeah, exactly. Food and the creative mindset. Kind of sounds like a podcast title.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to episode number 74 of Food and the Creative Mindset with your hosts.
Dude, weirdly enough, I've been listening to a podcast that's been like, they basically like talk about like the wellness industry and like why so much of it is like just made up. And then they like back that up. So like the one that I listened to recently was like the president's physical fitness exam.
I remember having to
where
do
they're
that.
like you had to do like certain sit-ups and like the weird like bend and like
that push thing.
Yeah. And like all those things, and they were just like, yeah, this is all made up and here's why. And I was like, this is kind of dope.
Are you kidding me?
They're like, it's not really based on anything. It's just kind of like someone thought about this and then they like went to the president, and the president was like, kids should do that. Yeah. And then they just
kids should be able to reach at least 5 inches past their toes.
Just so weird, just so strange, like all very like standardized, like not specific to people. It's just such a like an interesting concept.
That is really interesting. I mean, fuck, that's a whole other conversation that we can get into. How the fitness industry and how like these wellness influencers are completely like manipulative and really just looking out for their own bag.
Yeah, dude. And like that pink goop thing that was happening. Ugh, God.
That's a whole fucking other thing. That's crazy.
You can't sell fucking dairy products unrefrigerated. Why did you... I'm just going to let that go.
Yeah.
I'm going to get too mad about it.
Yeah. Fucking crazy. Fitness industry is a scam.
It is.
Hey, y'all. Did we hit it? That felt like a natural stopping point. Dude.
God, we're getting so good at this.
That was great. I was just really excited. We really appreciate you guys tuning in to episode number 84 of the Lunchtime Serenade podcast. Wow, that burrito was great. I'm very full, but I don't feel too full.
Yeah. It was light enough where I don't feel like I'm going to go home and immediately like shit my brains out. Yeah. But it was like absolutely delicious.
Big old slap fest.
Huge fan. If any of y'all are ever in the valley and can either stop by or order it for pickup, highly recommend bread and breakfast.
Facts.
Big fan.
Well, we love you all. We hope you learned something today. We hope you got some of your frustrations out with us. And it's been a pleasure. We will see you guys in 2 weeks because I'll be at a wedding next week. But yeah, that's it. Love you guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Middle of the day, middle of the week.
Peace.